One thing I often notice in technical sales environments is that suppliers and customers often define value differently. Suppliers naturally focus on performance, capability, innovation, precision, output, technical superiority. Nothing wrong with that. Technical excellence matters enormously. But customers are often evaluating through a completely different lens. They're thinking about downtime, ease of use, staffing pressure, maybe risk of implementation, flexibility in the future, maintenance, reliability, the confidence to make the decision commercially. In other words, customers rarely buy machinery purely for the sake of machinery. They buy what the machinery helps them achieve. That distinction matters far more than many people realise, because one of the hidden risks in technical selling is assuming that if customers fully understand the product, they'll automatically understand the value. But more information does not always create more value. Sometimes it'll create more confusion. Sometimes it'll overwhelm people. Sometimes it pushes conversations back towards that feature comparison, which eventually leads up comparison around price. One of the strongest shifts I see is when salespeople become more deliberate about discovering what the customers themselves actually values. Not what the supplier, what they think should matter, but what matters to the customer. So for one customer, value might be higher output. For another, it could just be less operational stress. For another, it could just be that the implementation goes smoothly. The strongest technical discussions often explore those priorities before getting into that solution in detail. Because once customer defined value becomes clear, technical expertise becomes far more commercially powerful. That conversation goes from, let me explain the kit, let me explain the machine, to let's explore what matters most in your operation. And interesting, that often changes the negotiation dynamic as well. Because customers stop evaluating, well, how cheap can we get this, to which solution actually helps us most. So yeah, the machinery matters, of course it does, but customers are usually investing in outcomes, not the equipment alone.